Hi, so this is my first video with regards to the topic of saving your children from the social services. Now, this is my experience from the United Kingdom. I know that many other people have problems in other countries, especially the SS, I'm familiar of, but I'm not sure what their conditions, their policies and the things they go through. My research is based on what I found in the UK and my own personal experience with regards to what goes on within this organisation and trying to save your children. Firstly, as soon as you find out that they're interested in you, you need to make sure that you stay clear, and you need to tell them. You need to say, look, I don't want anything to do with you, as their agenda is to take your child from the very start of your pregnancy, or as soon as they have knowledge that you are you've got a child on the way, and for some reason they decide to get involved in your case. For instance, with us, it was due to rumours from people who had taken a dislike to us and reported us to the social services. There's nothing you can do to challenge their decisions, and we went about it the hard way, and I want to steer parents away from going down this route, because it absolutely broke us for the period that we were under their control. I say control because we had the option to not be involved, but that would have looked bad for us, given that any lack of involvement is evidence that you are, of course, neglecting your children and you're abusing and you're a child abuser or whatever. They will do anything they can to take your child away from you. It's their objective from start to finish. The way they operate is, as soon as you have your first meeting with the assessment officer, they will try to break you down and force feed you lies from people who have spoken of you in a way that is bullshit, basically. We know this because we went to many PLO meetings where we were the only defendants, myself, the mother of the child, and her mother. We attended these meetings with hope to prove our innocence with regards to what was said about us in the reports. I have all the reports, everything is documented. I've saved lots of information to USB and my USB, and I've done lots of information into the situations that are affecting thousands of people. I say thousands because I've done my research, and there's many campaigners out there who are fighting for people like us who just want to save our children and have a wonderful family and want to look forward to having a baby. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case for us, as it isn't the case for many other people. From the first meeting, they target you as if you're already a criminal and you've done something wrong, when all we wanted to do was look forward to having our child, and we were ecstatic when we found out that we were expecting. They absolutely ruined this for us. They destroyed the process of pregnancy through all the fictitious claims they made about us, all the lies. The reports were completely fabricated. The assessment officer who compiled the first report, it wasn't even legible, transparent or accurate in most cases, because there was about 5% truth in total. Places, names, things that we'd done, where we'd been, things that they said about me being on the internet and doing dodgy, it was all proven to be lies. The problem is, when you're fighting an organisation like this, a cruel, vindictive and evil organisation, you come to find that it's a no-win scenario. For instance, we proved everything was lies. They accused us of taking numerous substances, and we proved negative on all these tests. Yet this wasn't even put forward in our favour in the meeting. I had a psychiatrist at the time who was willing to submit a report to say that I was in no way the person who they considered in the reports that they were submitting against us, but they didn't go to any effort or attempt to find this report from this psychiatrist who would have voted in favour of us, and myself, of course. We had two people who attended the initial two PLOs who one of them was a support worker of mine, because I just got out of, I'd been in detention for a while, and I just got out. I'd been out for about 6 months. They both attended, and they said that we were in no way a danger to our unborn child, and we were in no way a danger to him once he was born. None of this was taken into consideration, and these two people left and didn't attend any more of these PLO meetings because they couldn't deal with the fact of the way that these meetings were set up. It was an attack against us. So therefore they couldn't continue to attend because they felt it was too cruel, too heartbreaking, and they felt that their voices weren't being heard. To go through a situation like this is absolutely horrific, so I don't want you to go through it, because I've met some fucking pretty wicked people in my life. I've met some very dangerous, sadistic people who many would consider wicked, but no one in comparison, but none of them compared in their vindictive malice and intent to destroy us psychologically, emotionally, and our relationship as the SS. Their wickedness is incomparable, hence why they're referred to as the SS. The social services in the UK are part of an elite organisation who take children from families who have had people who've had troubled past or have been involved with the legal system, the prison system, like myself. Even though I'd been involved, there were good things about me which weren't mentioned, since, like, for instance, that I'd completed all my treatment. I'd never really been in trouble. I've never really been a problem whilst in the institutes, and I demonstrated no kind of evidence that I could possibly hurt my child. None of this was brought forward. I had businesses in the past. I'd been reasonably successful at times. I'd been able to make my own money. I could survive for myself. And I wanted to do this once I was on the out. And now I had a son on the way. And and the social services wanted to make this impossible. They get a huge bonus for when they take a child. And the child is then given into the hands of people who can pay a good fee for a little boy or a little girl or a family. The reason they do this is because they are involved with something else that many of you probably know about, and these are certain sexually depraved conspiracies that have been rearing their heads recently. For instance, Pizzagate. And they take your children, and what happens to them is they get destroyed because you can't fight your case. Anyway, I wanted to make this a pretty quick step-by-step guide of how to save your child, your son, your daughter, your family, your relationship. Firstly, if you haven't got a great deal of money behind you, like I had, because I didn't have millions in the bank, I could not provide a decent lawyer or attorney, a solicitor to fight my case. Therefore, I was stuck. My solicitor, Rhys Warren, from Cwmbran, was absolutely terrible. He just didn't have a clue what he was doing. We submitted all the information he needed to provide a secure case for us, where it wouldn't be a problem for us to. Where we provide him the information he needed to provide a case that was already won. You know, I gave him the information needed that would secure that I'd have a family. We could save our family, but this didn't happen. You have to leave. You have to get yourself together, and you have to leave the UK or the country where you're at. And we found that Ireland and France were the safest places for people to go. We chose France because we wanted to go to the place where it's warmer weather, as opposed to Ireland, where it's pretty cold. We packed our bags up a couple of weeks before they were going to take our son, prior to his birth, because he was due 3 weeks after we left. On his birth, they were going to take him from the hospital forcefully straight away, because that's all the concern they had, apparently. So we left, and this is what you need to do. There's no other option. If you haven't got money, you have to pack your things, your most important belongings, sentimental things, and things that you need to survive, into your car or your truck, and you need to leave the UK. This is what we did. We came to France, and we went to the courts here, and they saw that all our the reports are fabricated against us. Evidence was just made up, and they gave us our son back. It took 10 days, but they were so kind to us, and we got involved with the social services here in France immediately upon our arrival. Anyway, this is what you need to do. You need to leave the UK. There's no other option. Don't let them traumatise you through the ordeal of your pregnancy, and enjoy it for what it is. You're expecting a child or your children. You don't want them taken away from you. Save your children. Go to a place like France, and like me now, I'm being helped by the French authorities, and so is the mother of the baby. And we're settled, and we don't have that fear of losing our child anymore. You can't fight them, because their objective is to take your children for their purposes, which is to feed elite individuals or people with money to satisfy their perversions, and their perversions are child molestation, abuse, and ultimately, in some cases, murder. We weren't going to have this happen to our son. So I'd love to tell you more about our story and give you some more information and insight onto what you can and should do with regards to saving your family. Anyway, best of luck to everyone who's involved in this sick, disgusting system, because ultimately they're referred to as the SS for a reason. And they don't like it if you stand up to them. They can't stand it. And I'm going to give you the names of the people that I've dealt with, such as Julie Pickers-Gill, Patience Machatuta, and Sue Smith. They were the ones who were adamant that we were a danger to our son, and they knew that we weren't lying when we were fighting our cause, but they didn't care. It was not considered. Anyway, I want to hear from people, and I want to give help and support to people who, like us, want to save their children, and want to know what they need to do in order to do this. Okay. I hope this video gets the attention that it deserves, because ultimately I'm fighting this cause because I don't want anyone else to go through what we went through, because ultimately it'll destroy you. It'll destroy you. I remember after I think our first PLO meeting, we came back, and me and my fiance held each other for about 15 minutes, and we just sobbed. We were absolutely devastated by the things that they'd said. Okay, anyway, I'll speak to you soon.